Okay, guys, what's going on? Blazing Press here on YouTube and Rumble. We're also on Rumble right now. Yep. Let me just post this on a couple of sites really quick here. I'm just updating a couple other social media sites here really quickly. Make sure everybody knows we're on here. Are we live? I think so. Really quickly. Yep. Okay, there we go. And then, yeah, if you want to make your way over to YouTube by clicking the YouTube icon on the video. If you're watching it anywhere else, come back over here on YouTube on the Blazing Press channel here, so you can get involved in the chat. And this last place I'm posting it to is our locals page. Actually, we also have a Patreon page that we update very regularly. Make sure you're on the Patreon page too, because we're going to be doing a stream here in a little bit on the signs in the heavens. The signs in the heavens, definitely something you want to keep up on what that actually means prophetically. As we have told you, it's actually happening right now. Everything is happening exactly as we've told you. And even politically, we've talked about this going back 4 years ago, what it would look like going into the election of 2024. And this is exactly the way we've been telling you. It was exactly the way we told you it was going to happen. So if we're accurate on a lot of those predictions people were saying were foolish back 4 years ago and didn't even, thought it was just just some random conspiracy of how we explained it, contrary to so many YouTube prophets and all the people from the Reawaken America tour that were all predicting these things that never happened, never materialized, yet people are throwing millions of dollars at these people. Millions of dollars, millions of followers on all these different channels, and they're all wrong. Everything we told you was exactly the way it was going to happen. And this is what's happened. But it's okay. Eventually people will figure it out. Hopefully they do, but maybe they won't. The remnant is a very small, that's why they call it a remnant, because it's not the majority, right? The remnant isn't the majority. The majority are the people that fall into the pit. They're like the lemmings, the sheep that, and I'm not saying, if you have a shepherd, obviously the sheep with a shepherd are going to be led to the, safe haven. They're going to find the fold. They're going to be protected. But the sheep without a shepherd, you're food for the wild beast. You're food for the wolves. They're going to come devour you. But we're here to help people see that they don't need to worry about that. Am I stuck here? What the heck happened here? Why is this not working here? Okay, yeah, it's okay. Good. All right, let's see if we're on Rumble too, because I think we're on Rumble. I'm simulcasting this on Rumble, I think, here. Let's see what it looks like. All you Rumble people out there. How's it going, Rumble? Now, the title on the Rumble page, I wasn't able, or the video, not the video, but the thumbnail was not able to update for some reason. I don't know why. It doesn't work very well with the software. But we have it all set up for when Israel attacks Iran. Now, we're on the brink of seeing the U.S. do something right now. Okay, so this is the update. We've got tankers in the air as of about 45 minutes ago. 12 U.S. tankers coming out of Europe, refueling tankers. We've got one of those AWACS command and control surveillance planes. I guess they call it the Sentry. I think it's called the 35 Sentry or 13 Sentry. Not sure what the name of it is again. But a sentry, Sentry. I guess that has something to do with like watching out. That's the name of the plane. It's like an AWACS plane. It's got the big dome on the top that is some kind of a surveillance. And it's basically used in times of war to surveil the battlefield, intelligence, and directing things, right? It's a command and control type plane. And that's also on the way. Not to mention fighter jets, U.S. F-16s on the way into the Middle East. And we've been seeing a huge increase in things happening right now in Israel, in Lebanon, in the Gaza Strip. You're seeing a huge move. Anthony Blinken, Anthony Blinken was in Jordan today talking with the Jordanian prime minister, saying that we have to bring peace. We have to bring peace now to Gaza. Like, this is such an important thing now. They got to bring peace. Why? Because everything is spiraling out of control. The U.S. is being drawn into a war, and we're about to go into war with Iran. Iran has stated just today they're going to strike Israel very hard, and there's even threats of sending in Revolutionary Guard troops into Israel. They're saying that they're going to send, if Israel strikes, they're going to send Iranian Revolutionary Guard into Israel, not to mention the threats of having something even more significant than nukes. So the surprise for Israel is that Iran is going to attack them if they do a retaliation, which is what Israel is planning to do. And I think that America is over there to try to protect the interests of Israel and to show a force to try to cause Iran to not retaliate. But is that going to work? I don't think so. And I think that that the United States is going to be right in the crosshairs as this goes down. The sleeper cells that they have here, I'm sure they sent over a huge amount of assets over our porous border in the last 4 years, and especially as of late, not to mention all the, there was a video, I don't know if you saw this video, we posted on our Telegram, and if you're not connected to our Telegram page, you need to get connected to that Telegram page. We update you on everything right there on Telegram. Real-time news. And by the way, these Kumta alerts from Israel are going off the charts here. But on our Telegram page, we showed a video recently in the last few days of a man that lives on the border, the southern border of the United States. And he's talking about how many people he sees coming across his yard every day. And he said he's probably seen 100,000 plus people over the last year crossing in his area, just in his own area. He said that most of them are Chinese. Why are the Chinese coming in? He said a while back it was all different race. It was Mexicans, it was South Americans, it was people from the Middle East. But he says lately they're all Chinese. And China's been threatening war with us too. Men of military age mostly. Why are they sending in the men in here? China just doesn't let their citizens go. And most of these Chinese, they can't track them. Most of these people that are coming over from different countries are in shelters or they're being directed. But the Chinese don't. They just disappear. The Chinese people, they disappear. We don't know where they go. For some reason, they're not on the radar once they come across. They play joke. They're Chinese. They play joke. They're hiding things. They're getting into our infrastructure. They're doing things. This is what we've been warning about for 10 plus years, about how the real threat is really China and what they're doing to our system and our infrastructure, and our institutions. Really, all of our institutions have been infiltrated by Chinese, and now China's economy is collapsing. The U.S. economy is collapsing. The whole globe is on the brink of war. And we're looking at a global war shaping up right now. North Korean troops, another contingency of a contingent of North Korean troops are being sent into to help the Russians fight in Ukraine. So North Korean troops going into Ukraine to fight, and now South Korea says they're going to send in their troops to help the Ukrainians. So you got North and South Korea fighting in Ukraine. That's what's going to end up happening. And there's always, and Ukraine is totally being left in the lurch. We have just basically, we're cutting them off, I think. I don't know. I heard something recently the last few days that we're going to send them another $20 billion. Did you see that? $20 billion more is going to Ukraine. Is that even possible? I mean, let me just see if that was right. I could have swore I saw that article. Yeah, the G7 finalizes $50 billion Ukraine loan backed by Russian assets. Okay, so I guess they're using Russian assets to fund this bill that's going to be sent to Ukraine. But yeah, Reuters says the U.S. finalizes $20 billion share of the $50 billion G7 loan. Oh, it's a loan. Oh, it's not really a gift. They're loaning them this money after the whole country is completely leveled and destroyed. They're gonna loan them this money. So anyway, we finalized our share of $20 billion. We're gonna give $20 billion as a loan to Ukraine, who is losing their butts. And Russia just stated yesterday, we're just gonna wear out the U.S. and NATO. We're just gonna wear them out there. What do they call that? A war of attrition? Is that what they call it? It means you wear down the enemy to the point of collapse. Attrition warfare is a military strategy consisting of belligerent attempts to win a war by wearing down the enemy to the point of collapse. So this is what they call a war of attrition. And the Russians are definitely wearing down the West. West is throwing huge amounts of money on top of the fact that we're distracted by this and that and everything else, whether it's Ukraine or the Middle East or the Strait of, the China, what is it? The things that are happening in Taiwan and the Sea of Japan, I guess, and all. Well, actually, Japan is in the crosshairs too. But you've got the Philippines and Taiwan and China building all those satellite military islands. They're just popping up all in the sea there. What is it? The Sea of China Sea? I don't know what they call it there. What the hell they call that sea there? And so they're getting ready for global war, literally. And there's been huge moves right now by China over against Taiwan. I mean, to the point of surrounding the whole island with live fire drills, quote unquote drills, sending in even aircraft carriers, and some of the biggest drills they've had ever right now. And they're basically threatening Taiwan for being trying to be independent. They say that they belong to Taiwan. It's like a jilted lover going kind of crazy and cuckoo, stalking you wherever you go, telling you that you have to come back or else. It's like, I always think of that funny thing. It says, where it says, have you ever heard that saying, if you love someone, let them go, and if they return, it was meant to be? You ever heard that? Well, I heard this other statement that somebody said, if you love someone, let them go, and if they don't return, hunt them down and kill them. It's like, that's what's happening in China with Taiwan. They're gonna destroy them because they're not coming back. They don't want to come back. They're supposed to be a part of China, and China's like, well, you're going to come back.
whether you like it or not. We can do this the easy way or the hard way.
I'm telling you guys, things are going down. Down. What is going on? Am I on YouTube? I think I'm here, aren't I? What's going on here? Oh gosh, tell me it's working. I am
I'm
on.
telling you guys.
Oh, I am. Okay, I'm here. Make sure you thumbs up that video, all you guys here on YouTube. Thumbs up the video. Share it everywhere you can. This information is very important. Very, very important. I'm just trying to get my studio up here running. Where is my studio? Okay, here we go. Am I okay here? Okay. All right, so I'm going to take you guys over to look at our Telegram page. Actually, let's look at some of these other articles here. I wanted to show you some other things here about what Iran is saying. Iran is now saying, this is coming from allisrael.com. The chief of the Revolutionary Guard threatens Israel by saying its missile defense system won't work in future attacks. So they're talking about having technologies and the ability to strike Israel. They haven't actually used these technologies yet. And maybe they're showing lots of restraint because, they're wanting the world to see that the aggressors have truly kind of revealed their true motives, whether it's the U.S. or Israel. And when they do strike back with whatever technologies they say they have, if it truly is what they're saying and not a bluff, then the world will say, well, they have every right to strike back. They're being attacked by Israel, right? And so that's kind of the way Iran has been running this war. It's they're trying to take the high ground. This is the way it looks to a lot that are observing, that they're literally taking the high ground in the sense that they're showing the world that they're being continually attacked, and Israel's doing these operations against them with the United States blessing, and that they're showing huge amounts of restraint. And when they do strike back, then they're going to be justified in everything that they do, even if it's very, very serious. They're going to let it escalate to the point where they can use those technologies. What kind of technologies are we talking about here? Are we talking about nuclear technologies or some other exotic things that haven't been known yet to the world? I mean, kind of like, I feel like we're on the brink of seeing something like, World War II. We didn't know what nuclear technologies were back then before they were used, but the whole world found out once they were used. Maybe there's some new technologies that far exceed what we even know about with nuclear type technologies. Maybe these space technologies are something they're going to start using. Laser technologies, who knows? I mean, I've heard they've got weapons now that they can beam down from space and basically just kill you or neutralize you in large swaths of territories, that they can just beam these. Whoops, the heck did I just do? My heater. And it basically can just fry you or neutralize you, and it's has something to do with it's like microwaving you, I guess. I don't know. They just can do huge areas. But all the technology they have, we probably don't know the half of what they've got, or at least even more than that, probably. And so they're threatening this Salami guy, Hussein Salami, commander-in-chief. Salami? Salami's not good for you. You don't want to eat those types of meats. You don't know what they put in them. The commander-in-chief of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard, whose name is Hussein Salami, he is now stating that he threatened Israel on Thursday, claiming that the advanced U.S. missile defense system recently stationed in Israel won't be able to protect them from future attacks. Now, from what I understand, there's another system on its way. It should be there in a day or two from the United States, another THAAD. They've already sent one or two. I thought they sent two, but they're sending another one, the U.S. Just as the Arrow anti-missile system didn't work during the Operation True Promise 2, the THAAD systems will not work either, Salami said. Don't rely on THAAD. They have limited capabilities. And this is what they call it, the Thermal High-Altitude Air Defense System. And it's one of the U.S. military's most powerful anti-missile weapons systems that's capable of intercepting ballistic missiles at 150 to 200 kilometers. That's about 100 miles, right? It is the only U.S. missile system to engage and destroy short, medium, and intermediate range ballistic missiles inside or outside the atmosphere. So I guess it can go all outside the atmosphere as well. The Biden administration has sent the THAAD system along with the military crew to Israel shortly after October 1st, which Iran called Operation True Promise to help bolster its air defense system. So Iran says, their chief says, you cannot win this conflict. We will destroy you. Salami warned at a cultural ceremony in Iran's western province of Kermanshah. During the Iranian ballistic missile attack on October 1st, Iran had fired 181 ballistic missiles deep into Israel, sending nearly 10 million people into bomb shelters. Now, Israel is also right at this very moment getting their population prepared for an Iranian strike. Now, we've been hearing this for a while now, for the last couple of weeks, but it looks to me like it's really going to happen now. It looks like it's just about to really go down now. What do you guys think? Is that what you're seeing too? It's about to go down? It's about to go nuclear or nova or whatever? That's what I'm thinking. So let's see. Let's get some more headlines here. The Washington Post. This is what the Washington Post just put out. This is what they just posted on their news outlet. The Washington Post will not be making an endorsement of a presidential candidate in this election, nor in any future presidential elections. We are returning to our roots of not endorsing presidential candidates. That's pretty funny. They must really not like Kamala. Wow, Tony Robinson, he's out of the UK. You guys know who Tommy Robinson is, right? He was charged with terror offenses after surrendering to police and failing to provide his phone's PIN under the Terrorism Act. So, isn't that crazy? They are charging him with terror offenses. Wow. The Bank of Russia increases the key rate by 200 BP to 21% PA. What does that mean? It says this just happened today. Russia's central bank has sharply raised the key interest rate by 2 percentage points to a record level of 21% per annum. Wow. Germany's vice chancellor, the vice chancellor of the a Green Party member, demands Chinese-like censorship of the social media platform X because Elon Musk supports Trump. Extremes in every direction. It's whether it's extreme on the left or extreme on the right. We're going to see extremes like we've never seen. The polarization is off the charts. It reminds me of World War II. You had the right, you had the extreme right, the extreme left. You had the fascists and the communists, right? And so supposedly America was right in the middle, right? But we chose to go along with the communists. Obviously, we helped the communists to defeat what we said was fascism. But this is the type of thing politically that's happening right now, I think. It's just extreme. Everything is so extreme right now. Let's see what else we got. This is coming from the Jerusalem Post. Same thing, basically. Yep, not good. And we'll go back over to our Telegram page here real quick. Let's see what else we got on Telegram here. The big news is that the U.S. has offered security guarantee and defense assurances to Saudi Arabia in case of an Iranian attack. Now, I don't know why we've been offering them assurances when Saudi Arabia and Iran are supposed to be doing joint drills, military joint drills. And they've kind of made a move toward Russia and the BRICS. So I don't know why Iran would want to attack Saudi Arabia at this point. I know that they've been kind of enemies for a while. You know, historically they've been enemies, and we've kind of been protecting Saudi Arabia, mostly because of the oil. But, you know, it's kind of like Iran sees this as a way to weaken the U.S., and I'm sure Russia as well. So why would they want to attack, Saudi Arabia? So isn't that saying, the enemy of my enemy is my enemy, or something like that? How does that go? The friend of my enemy is my enemy. How does that go? Let me see if I can find that quote. Yeah, the friend of my enemy is my enemy. The friend of my enemy is my enemy. Something like that. Yeah, I'm not sure how that works. But anyway, so that's kind of what's going on there. And then we have... It says, this is the hazy hint from where the Israeli strike could be launched. They're saying that this could be a little hint. Ah, gotcha. So basically, what they're saying is that we may be launching our attacks on Iran from our bases inside of Saudi Arabia. So if Iran says, hey, you're aiding and abetting our enemies, we're not going to work with you. Hello? You're supposed to be on our side. Now, did you know that the Sauds were supposed to be in the BRICS meeting the other day, and they didn't go? Solomon bin, what was his, Mohammed bin Solomon backed out. He didn't end up showing up. He was going to go, and then he didn't show up. So maybe, see, there we go. This all makes sense. So maybe we're going to be launching these attacks from Saudi Arabia's bases that we have there on Iran. And that's why we're promising them assurances of protection. Very interesting. It's all starting to make sense. This is the E3 U.S. Sentry is up. I got to put that up there on there. That makes sense. And like I said, I post on Telegram. My wife does a lot of posting. And I post as well. And so you'll want to keep up on what's happening there because it's very up to the minute news updates. Like right now, I just posted the Sentry. You can see the track that it's taking. And here we go. U.S. offers defense assurances to Saudi Arabia if Iran attacks. This is coming from Bloomberg. Bloomberg News. And there's a big ad right there. Got in my way. How do I get rid of this ad? What the heck? This is why you can't get rid of the ad. This is why you go to archive. This is a little trick for you guys here. You go to archive.com and then you just archive it. You put it in there like this. And then you put search. Oh, wait. Did that work? Let me see if I can do it here. And usually it'll pull it up. Like if somebody has already archived it, it'll pull it up. Let's see. Or it'll archive it. You'll be the first one to archive it. Yeah, like right now I'm the first one to archive it. So we'll go back to it after it's archived and then we'll look at it. And we'll be able to see it without the ads. Because the ads are what's getting in the way. I can't see it. And let's see if there's anything else. Yeah, something's fixing to happen here. It looks like it's going to be a little bit before it archives. Okay, oh well. What else do we got? Okay, this is just a little blurb to promote our awesome website that is here to get you guys ready, whether it's solar generators or freeze-dried foods or survival type equipment. I know these are going really fast right here. Oh, we've got the MREs now in stock. So you got 3 MREs or the survival library. A lot of people are getting the survival library. Those are really awesome compilation of everything you can think of to do if you're an off-grid situation or if something happens. But right now we got a special on freeze-dried food. Come over here and check out the freeze-dried foods. Everything in the number 10 cans, huge amounts of calories that you can, and your basic supply of what you need to survive for a 25-year period. Once it's opened, obviously you need to eat it within a year or two, but it'll stay, fresh and it's all freeze dried, so it's got the better process of preserving food. If you do the heating process or dehydration, it's heated and it kills enzymes, it kills vitamin content, and the texture is bad. It takes a long time to rehydrate. Most of the really cheaper long-term storable food is dehydrated. But if you go with a little premium freeze-dried food, the process is different. It's more of a freeze. Everything is frozen, and then it's sublimated. The moisture is sublimated out, so there's not really any harming of the enzymes or the vitamin content. When it rehydrates very quickly, you just add water. You don't even really have to heat it, but it's better to heat your meals if you want a heated meal, and it'll rehydrate very quickly. Just need a little bit of heat. That's why we sell fire starting kits and little two-stage wood burning stoves. Those are really cool. So if you're ever on the go or ever on the run or have to make a beeline to a safer place like Idaho or the outback places where there's nobody out, you're going to have to learn how to live off grid. You better know how to do some of this stuff. And that's why they got the survival thumb drive that has 28 gigabytes worth of information on how to survive in every situation and how to just do everything. I mean, seriously, get one of these EcoFlows. There is a sale. These sales come pretty regularly, but I think right now is that this whole thing with China and the supply chain, I think there's going to be an effect on supplies. I've been noticing changes right now because these are all Chinese made. Everything that you get in solar technology and battery technology is coming from China. So we're very dependent. And I know we're trying to build infrastructure here for this type of technology, but it's going to take time to get all that set up, I think. And Elon's got a lot of ideas, but who knows? But this is where you get set up here. And then we're going to be talking about this here real soon. Let me just see on the Telegram, or I'm sorry, on the Patreon page. We're going to be going over this info. If you could see this right here. And this has all to do with the Virgo sign and the comet, which I believe is heralding the appearing of a very powerful, influential person who I think is going to usher in the last days, which I think is upon us at this very moment. And they call it the comet of the century. But there's a lot of interesting parallels to biblical prophecy that I find to be fascinating, that I don't see anybody really talking about right now. So we're going to go and delve into this very deeply. And I'm going to just tell you some of my thoughts. I'm not going to say dogmatically that I am completely 100% convinced, but I am like 95% convinced that some of these particular moments that we're living in are a prelude to the appearing of all these signs that the Bible said would come. And the reason, I'll give you all my reasons for why I think that, and all the background and the history of what these constellations signify, and how that in the book of Revelation, the Revelation chapter 12 sign is literally in the heavens as we speak. And this whole war that's happening in Israel is a part of that. And America's involvement and our election cycle, everything that's happening right now, you can say, if you really look into it and you really do the research, there is a possibility, a very good possibility, that this is it. And people have been speculating about the Revelation 12 sign since 2017. But that didn't actually pan out the way they thought, because they were talking about it being the rapture. But nope, that wasn't the rapture. But I'll tell you what, this right here, this is part of it. This is part of it. And I'll just give you a little taste. The dragon is enraged at the woman and went off to wage war against the rest of her offspring, which is you. If you're in Christ, you're the offspring of the woman. You're the offspring of Israel. You're the offspring of the child, the man-child, right? Who was caught back up, who was taken up into heaven, it says, in this Revelation 12 sign, right? He was the resurrection of Christ. But the offspring is the offspring of the man-child. The man-child, and I'll just give you a little foretaste of what we're going to talk about. The man-child was the green comet that came through the constellation of Virgo in 2023, very similar to what we just saw happen again on this feast festival of the tabernacles, which was the comet which they called the Purple Mountain Comet. It was discovered in China. And this comet also did exactly what the 2023 green comet did. It went right through Virgo. The green comet happened to be named after the person who discovered it, the wise man-child. The wise man-child. So the man-child came through Virgo. Revelation 12, it says that there was a man-child, the same name, the same sign. Woman, sun at her back, the moon at her feet, exactly where everything was, the 12 stars on her head. And then it talks about the dragon getting ready to devour. And now we have the duplicate sign this year during Tabernacles, the same exact sign, except it's not the man-child comet. But I'm telling you, it's portending a message about what's happening in America and our political system, and what I believe to be this is a heralding of the Antichrist. That's what I think that the new comet is. I think that this new comet that's coming through, it's called the Purple Mountain. It refers to the church, and we're going to go into all the details of this. There's a whole bunch of information. So get ready for that. Just a little teaser on the depths of what I'm going to get into here. And then we'll release as much as we can onto YouTube. Some of this stuff is like, it's kind of interesting, but it's for the remnant. If you're a part of the remnant, you're the only ones that are going to get it. Everybody else is going to misinterpret it. So anyways, guys, that was just a little heads up, a little get ready kind of you've been warned message. You can't say that you didn't know. And if you don't take the time to look into these things to verify it, it's on you. I did my part, right? I warned you. I hope my hands are clean. I don't want to get disciplined by the Lord for not saying what I know was needed to be said. Oh, you know what? Is it done yet? It's still not done. They're still not archived it yet. My goodness. Come on. This thing's taking forever. Oh, well. Well, listen, we'll re-update you guys on anything else that happens. Make sure you're connected to the Telegram, because that's where we let everybody know when we go live. When anything happens in real time, we post it there. So you don't want to miss watching the Telegram page. All you have to do is go search Blazing Press on Telegram, 2 little red dots. And if you don't know what it looks like, here, I'll show you really quick. Let me just show you really quick so you know what to look for. There's some imposter channels out there that are trying to scam people, and they try to pretend like they're your channel. They do this to everybody that has large channels on Telegram, and they'll try to spam people by saying that it's you. But anyways, our channel is the only one that has 21,000 subscribers. You see that? And our channel says Blazing Press with two red dots. Okay. All you got to do is search Blazing Press, or the actual URL directly that leads you to our Telegram feed is at Trumpet News 1, the number 1. At Trumpet News 1. Okay? That is to show you which page that we're at, so you'll know. At Trumpet News 1. And so it's t.me / Trumpet News 1. and that will lead you directly to our feed. That way you can always get updates and get push notifications. If you're following our channel, you can get your push notification right on your phone. You have to sign up to Telegram through your phone. Some people have told me that it was a lifesaver when everything happened because everything else went out except for their phone, their cell phone. So they were able to keep up on the news, and all the feeds that they had, like Robert's Blazing Press feed, came through cellular data, and they were able to keep up on all the news right on their phone. Their internet went out, their power went out, but their phone still worked. So you want to have a backup system, a backup redundant. It's just like having a shortwave radio or, ham radio. You want to have a backup in case everything, let's just say your cell phones go out. Well, you want a ham radio. Yeah. And you also want to be able to communicate, or you want to be able to find out what's going on in the world, get a shortwave radio. Shortwave radios can pick up signals from all over the world. I was listening to stuff in China and Mexico and Europe on my little shortwave. I was able to pick up all kinds of stuff. It bounces off the atmosphere, so you can hear what's going on around you. Like if you can't have comms and you don't know what's going on in the world and everything's shut off, you better have something that's going to be able to get your, some intel. You're going to have to find out what's going on. You don't want to be, flying in the dark. You don't know where you're going. You're just flying and hoping that you're not going to crash. You want to make sure that you know what's coming. Amen. All right, guys. So as this thing begins to happen, we'll let you know. I think that we're going to see something happening today. It looks like it's getting ready to happen with all these planes in the air. So when it does, we'll let you know. All right? Just be staying tuned. And make sure you enable instant notifications. That's how you're going to know it in real time. You got to enable. You can go through locals if you want to do that. You can also go through our Blazing Press app or Telegram, and also Patreon. Patreon is also the place you want to go because Patreon, we're updating people there as well on Patreon. All right. God bless you guys. Have a great afternoon, and I'll be talking to you